Welcome to DonBest.com. I'm Monte Skates here with Bruce Marshall. How you doing today, Bruce?
Pretty good, Monte.
All right, let's take a look at some NFL preseason action. We've got Indianapolis heading to Washington. We get to take a look at the top two picks in the draft here, Andrew Luck versus RG3. First time in 13 years this has happened. The top two picks in the draft, quarterbacks get to face off against each other back when it was Tim Couch and Donovan McNabb. Right now on the Don Best screen, Washington, 3.5-point favorite, totals at 43.5. Let's take a look at Indianapolis here first, Bruce. Obviously, Luck is the talk of the town here.
Generating a lot of buzz around the league already, Monte, and for good reason. He's looked really good. He's thrown for 363 yards his first two games. That's more than any quarterback in the NFL. We talked to people around the league, and they are reiterating what they told us before the draft. This is the most pre-cooked quarterback to come in the league since Peyton Manning 14 years ago, and he looks it right now. I think right now for Indianapolis, Luck's not going to be much of a concern. He's ready to go. It's the supporting cast, and are the guys like Donald Brown and the rookie wide receivers and the rookie tight ends, are they going to be able to step up their game? Because I think Luck already looks like, at least in the middle of the NFL quarterback class.
Absolutely. He looks very good right now. Definitely looks the part. He bounced back as well in that Pittsburgh game, threw a pick six, turned it around. Those guys came back. They were leading 17-14 at the half against Pittsburgh. What are you looking at on the other side of the ball, though? They're making a transition here, switching to the 3-4. I have my questions about this switch, particularly when it comes to Freeney and Mathis. These guys have had their hand in the dirt their entire career rushing the quarterback. Now they're going to be asked to guard running backs and tight ends out of the backfield. Are they going to be able to make this transition?
This is going to be one of the adjustments that Chuck Pagano is going to have to address as the season wears on. And it might actually manifest more once we get into the regular season as opposed to the preseason. Thus far, they've actually played pretty well. One guy who has adapted nicely is Jerry Hughes, the ex-TCU defensive end. He looks like he's flourishing now at the outside linebacker spot. But you're very right about Freeney. Now, Pagano did bring over three guys, including Corey Redding, the defensive end, and Zibikowski, the defensive back, from Baltimore to adjust in this transition. But the Colts, for many years, had focused upon lighter, faster defenders. You need bigger guys up front in the front seven and the 3-4, and that's what they're trying to transition to in Indy right now.
Yeah, going to be very interesting to see if they can do this. Washington, they've looked okay so far, 1-1 so far in the preseason. Now, you have Griffin, obviously a superstar quarterback, but it was his backup, the guy they picked in the fourth round that turned heads in the last game against Chicago.
I wasn't even looking in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, 30-10 Chicago became 31-30 Washington with Kirk Cousins, like you say, the Michigan State rookie, coming in and putting up big numbers. However, in his defense or in Griffin's defense, the Bears were throwing a lot more defensively at Griffin in the first half last week than they did at Cousins. There are some concerns right now that Mike Shanahan has beyond Griffin, who struggled some last week against that Bear defense, but he's got issues on his offensive line where injuries have popped up, and that was a concern coming into the season as well. He's also got some guys hurting on defense right now. So there are some issues right now at Washington beyond the Griffin maturity factor at quarterback.
Is there anything at all for Griffin to worry about here with Cousins playing so well? I know he's going against 2s and 3s, but is there anything for Griffin to worry about?
No, I don't think so, Monty. I mean, he's going to be the guy until further notice unless he gets hurt. But right now, I think what Mike Shanahan is more concerned about is that offensive line. They do get Tim Hightower, the running back, makes his preseason debut after that knee injury. He'll be in the lineup on Saturday against the Colts. But I think Shanahan has some other concerns right now beyond the quarterback because I think he believes that will eventually work itself out.
And you talked about injuries as well. Just quickly, defensively, injury-wise, I know Arapco, the star defensive end for them, he's dealing with an injury. Is he going to be expected back for this game, season opener, or what are we looking at?
He's probably not going to be out. It was a shoulder he hurt last week at Chicago, so he might miss this game. He's probably going to be okay for the season opener. So will Brandon Merriweather, the safety, also back from the Bears. He's going to be probably okay for the regular season, but he might miss this week, and so might London Fletcher. Also noting that Mike Shanahan has covered that third preseason game the last 2 years for the Skins.
Well, there you go. Bruce Marshall giving it to you. Head over to DonBest.com. If you want to bet like the pros, you got to have the equipment that the pros use. DonBest Pro Odds, real-time line feed. We actually offer a free trial. If you've never had it before, head over there, 1-800-DON-BEST.